Moika!
Hey! Welcome to our podcast, Mastering Finland. I'm Jean and I'm from California.
I'm Petra and I'm from the Czech Republic.
We're here to chat about our life in Finland.
Hello everybody, welcome back to our podcast. Today I have a great guest on our podcast. She's called Mervi Lamminen and she's the CEO of a company called Auntie. Hello Mervi.
Hello.
How are you today?
Thank you. I'm really good. Have a day full of work so far. A lot of things done.
How are you enjoying this beautiful weather that we have, this gray autumn?
Well, so far I'm behind closed curtains, so I don't have to see that, and I have a lot of lights on, so I'm managing.
That's good. That's good. Okay, so let's then get to your company. So what made you start your company? I can say that your company has a focus on mental health well-being. So why did you decide to start your company?
For a lot of reasons, I guess. When I was younger and I wanted to go to university to study, I was trying to make up my mind between School of Economics and Psychology. I decided to go to Helsinki School of Economics. But I have been interested in psychology ever since. I've been always interested in finding out why some people do get burnouts and why some people are in like really, really bad positions or places in their lives, but they still manage to go on without getting burnout. So that's something that I've always been really interested in. And I've been working in IT before starting my career as an entrepreneur. And in IT, I did get to see people getting burnout and having sick leaves because they were not able to work no more. So that's when I really started thinking that there should be some services that could help people already before they need occupational health care.
Yeah, that sounds reasonable. I mean, it's really important to get such services. And, we are all so busy and work comes first, but sometimes we all forget about our mental health being.
Yes. We kind of are very well aware of the fact that we need physical exercise, we need sleep, and we need to have a certain type of nutrition to stay healthy. But way too long we've been neglecting our own needs concerning our brains. And most of us, after all, do work with our brains. So it is doesn't make sense that we don't take care of our mental well-being as well as we try to take care of our physical well-being.
Yeah, that is true. And also that it's still the mental health being, as you said, exactly, is not equal to this physical health. It's still not equal, even though it is equally important for you to be able to handle everything.
You really don't need good physics if you are so burned out that you don't want to get up. But yes, they are both important, of course. And there is way too much stigma around mental health, and that is something that in our mission to help people with that.
Yeah, that's amazing. So what kind of specific services does your company offer to its clients?
Well, first of all, our customers are mostly our organizations, so they're corporations or cities or government offices. We offer service packages for the employees in these organizations. Each package includes 5 individual sessions with our professional. We call our people professionals because we are not in healthcare. We are a preventive or early stage operator. So when I help people when they actually can be helped quite easily, when they're beginning to lose control of their lives or the feeling of control over their lives instead of already getting depressed or diagnosed or burnout. So basically, when an employee comes to our service, she or he will get 5 individual sessions with our professional, surveys before and after, and materials, tasks, and assignments that are designed to help. That's basically, and we have the concept that we have is quite strong. So we have the packages have names. We have stressed out is our most commonly used package for dealing with stress. But we have overachiever, lost in transition for those who maybe have lost their motivation or maybe are not achieving as much as they wish they would. Love both thinking for relationship problems. And we also have 5 packages for leaders, for especially designed for those trouble that we all meet when we are leading a team.
Wow, so it's quite multidisciplinary that you approach it from like sort of this overall spectrum that you said that there is also like this personal relationship package if there is any problem with your family or with your partner.
Yes, that is actually the thing that in most times that comes up that, hey, does your company actually offer services for having a good relationship? And yes, that's what we do, especially for people who from outside Finland. They usually are like, really, like, why does actually companies do that in Finland? And yes, we're happy to tell that yes, they do. And I think it makes sense too, because if you have like a lifelong marriage for 20 years or whatever, and then all of a sudden it ends, most likely you will be on a sick leave, but even more likely the productivity will go down. And I think it is in the best interest of employer as well to help people to get over these situations as soon as possible and as easy as possible. It's not like we want to push those things aside, but we want to ease that suffering that usually is connected to those things.
Yeah, definitely. It's really important and it's really great that you have that overall package. So how easy is it for the employees to access your services? Is it accessible online? Can they have the online sessions with your professionals?
The sessions have always been online, even before COVID. So we have never actually been sitting in the same room with a person who uses our service. We are always online. We always say that it takes approximately like 10 seconds to sign up for our services. So you just have to put your name and that's it. Of course, it depends on a company how they have designed the signing up. We always encourage HR people and the companies to let people sign up if they think they have a need. Not that they have to ask for help from HR or from their boss, but they can just sign up if they want to.
Yeah, makes sense. If there is, for example, team that has an issue with communication or something, can they also get support from your company as like a team and not only individual?
Yes, we have a service for that too, but most of our services, definitely like over 90% of our service is one-to-one sessions with the individual. But of course, if the individual starts feeling better and maybe gets encouraged to bring out some issues with his or her boss or colleague, that will most likely help the team. But we do also provide some team sessions and workshops, but most of our services is one-to-ones.
Nice. And I looked at your website and it was stated there that you provide your services in 12 languages. So, what are those languages and why did you decide to offer services in different languages than only, for example, Finnish and English?
Oh my God, I should remember those 12s right now. I don't think I can. Well, but there is examples of like we have our services in Norwegian, Swedish, Germany, Spanish, Italian, uh, English, of course, Armenian.
That's already a very nice list, for sure. So, why did you decide to offer your services in that many languages?
Of course, we are already offering our services outside Finland. We have customer companies from outside Finland, but already from the very beginning, we started offering our services to IT companies first, because my background is in IT and that's where I got my burnout. So I knew that there is a need for it. So in a lot of IT companies, there are a lot of people with different backgrounds, and of course, when we're talking about important stuff for ourselves, the stuff that people are talking about is usually really important for them, and it's better if we get to speak it in our mother tongue, in our own language. So we wanted to support as many languages as possible, and up to date we have like those 12, and I do believe that by the end of the year we will have a couple of more.
Nice. It is very important and it's really amazing to hear that, you are sort of looking at it from the perspective of the people, not only the fact that they might be in Finland, so they should be able to speak Finnish or, English, but nothing else. So it's really nice that you sort of look at it from their personal point of view.
I think it's really, really important because it's there's a lot of people, for example, already in Finland working that come from Russia or Estonia, and of course we need to help those people in their own language and not try to just offer Finnish.
Yeah, that is very nice. So, related sort of to the language, how are culture differences taken into account when dealing with different cultures in a, for example, Finnish company?
Well, actually, the trouble that we face in our lives, they actually don't depend so much on our nationality. Our suffering is quite universal, which is, I guess, good in some way, but sad in another way. But there aren't that much of differences. Maybe there are some cultural differences, how willing we are to open up and see that this kind of help that we talk to a professional can help us. And I think in that all Western countries are pretty much similar. But in general, we all do benefit from talking to an outsider who actually can help us maybe to see, not to solve the problems for us, but help us to see what the problem is and maybe see some possible ways to solve it.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. So there are some big names amongst your clients, such as Tieto, Helsinki City, or IBM. So who was your first client, and how? What was essential to get on board some of these big names?
I think we actually maybe started first two customers was City of Helsinki. They started with a pilot at that point, and then insurance company Lähitapiola, which is also a large insurance company here in Finland. And what was important, I think, 5 years ago when I started this, mental health issues were not as hot topic as they are today. So it was actually quite tricky. Not all employers saw that this is a problem. At that point, we were talking more about how sitting kills us, how important it is to stand up and move during your day, which of course is important. But so I think it was uh, important first to show that hey, you are a reliable operator and you actually do know what you are doing. Then I think after that it was just repeating this all over and over again with so many different companies and until you found the ones that were the early adapters and I wanted to try it out. And I think even though now I mentioned the city of Helsinki and Lähitapiola, which is a large insurance company, quite after that we started getting those growth scale up companies in IT business. And usually I think they are willing to try out different kind of solutions. And I think they were maybe the first companies to actually realize that people's mental health is really, really important because if they don't feel themselves effective, they just don't deliver. So it's already from the point of view of company, it's important to have them to recover and to remain creative and stuff like that. So I think that was important.
Yeah, I really like how especially IT companies see their employers as people. Because I'm coming from Czech Republic when you're just supposed to work, 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 and nobody really cares about if you're handling it well. But here the approach is so different, and it's really like nice to see that even the employers who are trying to get the money are still treating you as human beings, and finally got the idea that if you're not doing well, you are actually not going to be as productive.
Yeah, that's exactly the point. That it's not only the matter of who's going to win. Is it like me as an employee that I'm just trying to stay as far away from job as work as possible, or then it's the awful employer who is trying to take everything out of me, and then I'm going to be on a sick leave. But actually, the most profitable companies do invest in employees and their well-being, and I think there's several researches that show this correlation. So actually, if the employees feel better and they are being taken care of, they are more productive and your company will be more profitable. And I think this is a big change also that companies have started realizing this, maybe in more mainstream, like 15 years ago. But nowadays, I think it's more and more companies are forced to see this unless they are seeing it themselves. Something happens and they are forced to see it.
Yeah, definitely. So, how can a company get your services?
Usually, we don't have like a large project, implementation project. We just make a contract with a company and we tell how this operates. We have a kickoff with HR persons and go through the certain things that we know that needs to be gone through. I think maybe our record is that one company called us like 6 o'clock on one evening a few months back, and on the next morning they had our services.
Wow.
We're pretty fast. I think that's in our DNA.
Yeah, that's really important as well. So that you act straight away and it's just sorted and people can get access to your services. Okay, so let's get to what is your vision for the future? What do you see for your company and for Finland and maybe the world? How it should be?
Yeah. Well, I believe that there will be a lot of mental health companies. And I think that's a good idea. We need different kind of operators in mental health field, helping people. Because some people benefit from our service, some people benefit from occupational health care in some other situations, and some people want the like fully digital service. And we need all this because the area or the trouble that we are solving is so huge that we need all different kind of solutions for that. I definitely hope that the stigma will be removed. I don't know if it can be ever removed, but I think it needs to diminish in increasing speed. We need to have the stigma away, and I think we will be using more and more this kind of services because more and more we will have evidence that we have people around us or friends who've been using services and we hear the good results because I think that's pretty common also that somebody hears that oh, hey I was using on this service I got a great things out of it so then a colleague wants to use it too so the more we talk about it the more people do get excited and the threshold goes lower so the people can attend more and more so I do believe that the whole industry is going up and the need is going up people are more willing to accept help and start to realize that mental it was already 5 years ago we were talking about mental personal trainers people start seeing that hey we need to just like we need to go to a gym to get a strong bicep and tricep to run faster we need to maintain our mental well-being as well so I think more and more people will be using our services and similar services just to maintain their good well-being.
Yeah, definitely. That's, I mean, all I agree with, and it's amazing what you said. And exactly, the more you speak about it as well, I think the more, the less stigma it becomes. And also the people who have issues, the more they speak about it themselves, the sort of, yeah, least sort of weird thing it becomes. And hopefully everybody will be willing to, try to get help for themselves.
Yes, and get support, and it doesn't even mean that you should have some trouble. Uh, we use our own services just to have someone to talk to and to open your eyes to new ideas and stuff like that. So it really helps to maintain creativity, help sleep better, how to keep your hygiene, your sleeping hygiene better, and so on. So all these things are coming more and more important and more and more maybe issues that are talked in media and other public places and that's definitely a good thing.
Yeah, totally. So, if our listeners would want to learn more about your company, or some company listens and they would want to get your services, where they can sort of read more about you or learn more about you.
Of course, in our web pages, Auntie, actually, we have an English web page called auntiesolutions.com. There you can find more information about Auntie and also about my background, why I came. Like I said, I have a burnout. Or I left one of the leading positions in a growth company. So that's in our web pages is one of the places where you can find more information.
Yeah, perfect. Anything else you would like to share with our listeners?
I hope that everybody can take care of their mental well-being and get good night's sleep, because that's the first thing we all need to take care of. Because if we don't sleep well, then there is no energy or actually not capability to focus on anything else. So go to bed early enough.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you so much, Mervi. It was amazing and very inspirational to talk to you. And yeah, I'm really grateful that you decided to be our guest.
Thank you for inviting me and letting me tell all these things. It was definitely my pleasure.
Yeah, thank you. All right, thank you for listening, and we will hear you next week. Bye.